Hey guys, Fazzy back here, and in today's video it is time for episode 30 of our Pittsburgh Penguins franchise mode here in NHL 25. It's absolutely insane that we're already at 30 episodes. We are entering the 2032-33 season. So if you guys did miss the last one, we had a pretty good showing in the playoffs, but unfortunately fell in the conference finals to the Florida Panthers in 5 games. But honestly, I don't think this team is still that far off from contending. We are going to have to make some moves, some decisions here coming up as we are entering the draft and re-sign stage. The big one being Kirby Dach. 89 overall, 31 years of age, but I think we just have guys that are younger that can replace him. Outside of that, it's nothing too crazy, just some depth, just some guys that we brought in at the trade deadline. Same thing with goalies, nothing super crazy there that we need to worry about. So I don't really have a plan, to be honest, right now. Let's just jump into the NHL entry draft. And let's take a look at what our options are. So I don't believe we have a first. We did trade that at the deadline, so our first pick would be 62. Is there anyone that we really want here before that? Let's go take a look. So going down here, is there any guaranteed elite players? Zimmerman they think is high elite. I very much doubt that. And then, yeah, it looks very standard. Looks very much like your medium 4, medium 6s. But outside of that, sorting by potential, no late medium elites, at least that our scouts have found. A few 2 bars at around 50, but we're just taking shots at that point. I wonder if there's any low elites that are guaranteed. There are, but they're at 121 and 252. So again, nothing that we need a pick to trade up for. So let's just go to 62. I'm not really that afraid of missing anything early here. So first overall, Hartnell. 80 overall medium franchise defender. The Flyers there get 80 overall medium elite playmaker. He's going to be a big part of their team's future. But nothing here jumping out at me at all. Ooh, that Zimmerman guy they thought was high elite was high 9. That's a big yikes for the Nashville Predators. We're already getting into medium 9 forwards, medium 6 defenders. Definitely seems like another weaker draft class. So what do we have? So we have this Augustin guy here. Honestly, potential low elite, 45 points. Interesting. And you also have Roussel here. So both low elites, 4 years out compared to, what was the first guy? 3 years out. Okay, we're going to go with him right now. And he is, only low top 6. I really don't like that potential. We can maybe take a shot on the other guy at 65. The only issue is it going to be another low top 6? So if so, I don't really want to draft him. Still willing to take the chance on it being low elite, but I don't know. Is there anyone else out here of interest? So you have another guaranteed low top 6. We can stay away from him. You have Emmerich there, potential high starter goalie, but I don't think we need another goalie in the system. We have that other guy, I forget his name right now, but he's a high starter. So yeah, I think we're just going to take Roussel here. Nothing really else jumping out at me. Another low top 6. So, not great in my opinion. Go to pick 126 now. Can we get our first steal of the draft? So you have Durrett here, maybe medium top 4 defender, 5 years out. Is there anything else of interest? You have Cuff here, same thing, 4 years out. He could be interesting. Oh, and you have Stefan here. These later low elites tend to normally be low elites. So let's go from 3 years. Ooh, and only low top 9. Man, that's 3 rough picks in a row. 3 guys that probably won't ever play for us. So into the later rounds here, can we get any steals, or is this going to be a bit of a dud draft pick? So you have Altschuler there, and you have Monroe. 2, again, potential guys that could be pretty good. 5 years, let's go Altschuler here. He is the sniper, and he is low elite. Okay, there we go. There's our first really good pick of the draft. He's 18 and he's 60 overall. That's actually a really good pick. I could see him for sure playing on this team in the future. And then our last pick in the draft, Harold there. Guaranteed low elite. Definitely not going to go off the board too much. We're going to go with this Harold guy, Jackson Harold. 50 overall, so a bit of a lower overall, but I'll still take that. So as the draft went on, the later picks ended up being our best, which is kind of funny. So we'll have to see if they develop. We will check in on them in coming seasons. So let's continue on here, getting past the draft. I do have to do all the scouts and coaches, so let me take care of that. I will be right back. Alright, so let's jump into the re-sign stage and let's see what our money situation is to look like here and what this team is going to end up looking like. So goalies, Akhtiamov here. Honestly, I wouldn't mind bringing him back. Doesn't want a ton of money. I'm going to wait on him just for the moment, just because it might come down to being pretty close here cap-wise. And yeah, and there's our high starter goalie I was talking about, 70 overall already. Absolutely giving him his ELC. Defensively, Lindgren at this point, 34. He's been a good soldier for us. But yeah, 5 mil for a bottom pairing guy. Just not going to happen at this point. Sanheim can also go. Baldwin, 74-24 can go. Same thing with Bracco. These guys just aren't going to develop. But Pelly here, 70 overall, medium top 4 defender. Absolutely will be joining the system. Right wings here, Ko at this point can go. We'll bring a lot of these guys back, I think. But just to have the contract spot is nice. Pavo, he can come back. He still has some potential. Fluggins here, 73-24, can just be released at this point. Left wings, again, we're going to kind of take the similar approach. All these older vets can go. But McIntyre, 76-23, still has somewhat of a chance. So 1 year, 850K. Accepts the offer right away. And then the center core. Kirby Doc, 89 overall. What do we do? So Pinto is going to go. Soderblom, Sorelli can stay for the moment. Chauvin, I don't need him. Same with Plant. Makinen, 72-25. He did not make it. Suglobov here, absolutely ELC. He is going to get that. So 3 centers. Sorelli, what do you want? Down to an 83, wants 1.9. Very good defensively, though. Soderblom, what do you want? Honestly, I'm just going to bring him back because it's a 2-way contract. If we play him, we play him. If we don't, we don't. So last 2. So Kirby Doc, the big name, 89 overall. Wants 8.5 for 3. So it's not bad. It really isn't. We can afford it. But the thing is, I don't know. I'm thinking of maybe moving Marco Rossi, so in that regard, it could work. But 31 years of age, I don't know. I think I want to give more ice time to the younger guys. Like 63 points. He's had some good years with us. Honestly, how about this? I don't think he's going to take this. We're going to try. I would go like a 1-year deal on him. I know it's probably not best for his career, and I don't think he's going to end up taking anything here. Like even if we went up to like $9 million, I just don't think later on in those later years that we're going to really have a place for him on this team. So we'll send the offer anyway, and we'll see what he says. And if not, we can move on from him. We can always revisit it in free agency, but it would just be a right now kind of thing. Yeah, unfortunately, he is not accepting our contract there. I think we're going to end up releasing Kirby Doc. He's been good for us. We can maybe revisit it later. So Sorelli, you're definitely going to come back as 4th-line center. You're cheap. How cheap actually can we get this? So 1.5, I'll give you a no trade clause on that. Let's go like 1.55. Yeah, I should easily take that. And then Akhtiamov there is the backup. We do know we have the money and we can bring him back. So 1 year at like 1.15 is an 83, who seems pretty good. We'll see what they both say to that. So we will have more coaches, more scouts all signing on here. Again, there's a decent amount this year that needed contracts. Sorelli's back, Akhtiamov's back, there we go. So everything's been taken care of. We still have, what, about $10 million to spend. So let's get to free agency, and let's see what we want to do. There's going to be a few moving pieces here, but I don't see anything all that drastically happening here in free agency. So normally I have a plan, normally I have a projected roster, but I don't think there's that many holes that we have to fill. So I'm just going to kind of go bargain hunting for the most part. If there's guys that are cheap that make sense for this team, obviously I think we're going to add them to the roster. But in the top 6, like Doc's going out, Julian's coming in. Here's our 5th overall pick of medium elite player. So outside of that, it's just going to be guys to fill out the bottom 6, I believe. So going to all expiring here first for our renewals that we can send out now. So Rossi I want to wait on. Might end up trading him. We'll see. Costi here. Young guy that I actually definitely would be willing to sign. 5 for 3 is a little expensive. But outside of that, nothing else really needs to get done next year, which is nice. So Costi. Honestly, if you went like 5x5 maybe, gave him a no trade, I don't mind that. He's gonna maybe get 2nd-line ice time next year, could spike up in overall. If he takes that contract, I'm alright with it. We'll send that out to Adam Costi. And other than that, I think we're good to finally jump into free agency. So starting with the goalies, let's sort all this by UFA. So goalies, a couple of good ones out there for sure. Shishkin, Sorokin, Swayman, Fowler, but we don't need a goalie. We can skip through that. So defensively, I could use one guy to replace Lindgren. So anyone cheap on a 1 year. Like Bixel there could make some sense 1 year at $3 million bucks. It's interesting. Hanif in there, Provorov. Few options out there. Deschamps playing 2381 low elite. How is he a free agent? Interesting. So I would definitely be willing to pick him up for the third pairing. Can maybe grow for us. 2 years at $3 million bucks. Honestly, if he takes it, I'm down. And right there, he accepts the offer. So the defense is now all shored up. Forwards, what is available for agency? So Leo Carlson, it's 14. We can't afford that. There's Doc asking for 200K more in free agency. Frondell, how is he a free agent at 25? That is interesting. Frondell does have me intrigued. So 25 years of age, 88 overall, fits in better timeline-wise than a Kirby Doc. The issue is going longer term. He doesn't want that, which is interesting. All right, so here's the thing. This is all going to come down to if we move Marco Rossi down to an 87 and is a pending UFA. Let me just go and explore the trade market. If there's something that makes sense for this team, I will come back to you guys, and then we can look at the free agent forwards once again. All right, so here's the thing. I want to try and get Frondell under contract before trading Rossi. I took a lot of time looking around at things, but I don't think it makes sense if we can't get Frondell. So I'm honestly willing to go the 2 years. He's a UFA, we don't have to pay anything. So hopefully we can use these 2 years, show him that we're a good team, and then get him longer term. So let's try charming him here. That is success. Okay, good. So let's negotiate this contract and see if we can get an agreement hammered out. So 2 years, again, you want 2 years, you can get 2 years, that's fine. Negotiate, no, we're going to improve that offer, we're going to improve the salary just slightly, like maybe 250K, something like that. Like the amounts are a little odd, but yeah, we'll go 250K. So 8.85 for 2. He does want a trade clause, absolutely. You can have your no movement. You'll be a permanent second line center here at least for 2 seasons. And there we go, we can continue on. He loves the contract. And yeah, let's just offer it to him and hope we can get him signed. And if we do, then we can look at moving Marco Rossi. Frondell brings that really elite defensive side of his game, still can provide the offense, and is still a young player. So if we can get him signed, it is a no-brainer. So going a few days, Anton Frondell accepts that contract. That is huge. Now let me go and revisit a potential Rossi trade. Alright, so this is what I am looking at. Sending Marco Rossi over to the Panthers. A buying Panthers team looking to get an 87 overall centerman for 1 season. Very, very cost controlled. In exchange for Cruz Armstrong. He is a first round pick, 23rd overall in 2028. Very, very solid defensively. And we're also going to be looking to get a second and a third back with him. So the Panthers, they're trying to buy here Armstrong, a guy that needs a contract. And yeah, I don't know. I think it makes sense for both teams. Florida, what do you guys say to this trade offer? Trade accepted. Love to see it. Okay, so now we have to go and see if we can get Armstrong signed. That's the thing. I don't know what he's going to be asking for here, but we still do have a decent amount of money now that we traded Rossi. So let's go offer the contract. 1 year, $2 million bucks. Honestly, like, I don't want to cheese it too much, but like, what about like a 4 year at 2.5? Like, we're not going to go and lock him up for 8, obviously, but if he would do a 4 year at 2.5, honestly, I think there is very good value in that. Will be a solid top 9 option. I do want to point out Costi did sign his extension. It was right after Frondell, so it didn't pop up before I stopped the recording. So going to free agency now, is there any other bargain value contracts that make sense for this team? Let's see, so UFA here, we're going all in. Is there any value that is somewhat cheap that, you know, wants a 1 year-ish deal? So you still have Ridley Gregg, Helia, Tippett, like they're all not asking for a lot of money and we can afford them. Again, we have to remember that $2.5 million should be coming off the books, but still. A Batherson at $3 million, Igor Cern at 2.4, that's not bad, but we already have our 4th line center, that's the thing. Like a Jared McCann, that would be perfect. At 2.3, still 84, bring the vet back, he's been here twice before. Definitely going to be playing in the bottom 6 at this point, but honestly, if he takes that offer, there we go. He accepts it right away. So we still have $4-ish million bucks left. The thing is, Do we want to spend it? We can save it for trades later on. But if there's anyone really good defensively here that is of interest, I'm fine with bringing them in. So you have Wozniak there, the center. Could be interesting, 2583. Defensively, only 3-star though. Is there anyone else of interest here? Again, Gauthier here, 3 stars as well. Like, it's okay, but I don't know. Like Surin, he is, 2.5 stars. So he didn't develop that well in his defensive category. But honestly, I don't think we're going to look at anyone else there, at least at the moment. Maybe some guys' price will drop. We'll see. But Armstrong, what do you say to your contract? And there we go. It is accepted. So as always, I'm going to go sign some depth two-way guys just for the AHL team. Maybe they can make the bottom 6. But I will meet back with you guys at the start of the NHL preseason. Alright, so the team is put together. We're back at the NHL preseason. I really, again, like what this team is looking like. It's a good blend of older guys and younger guys, and hopefully we can finally get it done. So top line from last year doesn't change. Now we have Callahan, Julian, our former 5th overall pick, playing with Frondell on the 2nd. I honestly think that guy could grow and he could pop off. Armstrong, Lucius, Costi on the 3rd. We could move Costi up. We'll have to see how the sim goes, but it is an option. McCann, Sorelli, Lautner on the 4th. So absolutely no holes on the forward core. Defensively, still Power, Hensler, Sandin, Palika, Koivunen, Deschamps playing the only change there, slotting in for Ryan Lindgren. And then in the net, once again, no changes from last season. And in the the scratch players here, we have all 81s. So we have some good depth just in case injuries do arrive. So let's get through the preseason here and then let's call it for today's video. So I don't know how many more seasons we have here as we enter the real life summer of 2025, but currently in the 2032-33 season, it is time that we start going on some longer runs. I know we made it to multiple finals, conference finals, but this team finally needs to get back to a Stanley Cup final and win it all. Hopefully this will be our year. So we finished the preseason 3-4. We've had better, we've had worse. Go take a quick look at the stats here and see who was performing. So Julian, 8 points. Hey, there we go. The rookie, 3 goals, 5 assists. Look good. You have Martone, Frondell right behind him. Callahan still there. Schultz only with 3. He had a rough preseason for sure. Defensively, everyone was plus, and everyone looked good. Ivan Kovic, 27 save. Very good in a below 500 preseason. But overall, I think that is going to do it for today's video. The off-season here in 2032. Hopefully this, again, slightly revamped Penguins team can find some success in the playoffs once again. But that will do it for today's video. I will see you all in the next one.